Hello, Dungeon fans. I'm the Lich. You know, from level 10, leader of the dungeon, the boss. And this is the Liching Hour. And before you do whatever it is you came here to do, in dungeon news. Owlbear Wrestling is being moved to Wednesdays on level 3. I repeat, Owlbear Wrestling will be moved to Wednesdays on level 3. In other news, the trolls on level 6 have organized a seminar on how to set up IKEA pit traps, for those of you who would like a pit trap on your own level. But do keep in mind that these are the same trolls that think it's hilarious to get a basilisk, stumble drunk, and then let it loose on level 2. This is probably a trap. And finally, the vampires in HR would ask that whoever's setting the zombies on level 1 on fire to please stop. They are annoying enough as it is without also being on fire. That's it for the news. Enjoy your stay. Fuel the dungeon.
Hi, welcome to the dungeon. We've got fun and games. I'm Kevin from HR, level 9, and it's Friday night, which means we were playing Dungeon Crawl Classics. Woohoo! If you're new to the channel, we have a little logo there that says Chat Plays, and that means what I'm trying to do with this stream is create a story that's influenced and driven by a role-playing system. This and my role-playing system of choice is Dungeon Crawl Classics, and a chat room input. So I will be asking for input. Anytime you want to give input, please do, and we will craft this story together. And if you're a GM who's looking for tips and tricks and stuff like that, this is a great place to kind of learn or watch how a story kind of evolves, if I do say so myself. If this is also your first time and you haven't yet, if you see me on Twitch or on YouTube, please follow or subscribe. That would be a great help. Thank you. And tonight we are playing Hole in the Sky. Dungeon Crawl Classics Hole in the Sky by Brendan J. LaSalle, which happens to be the very first adventure I ever experienced of Dungeon Crawl Classics. That's what got me into the system. And Brendan actually ran it for me at a convention. It was pretty cool. So we are starting a brand new campaign. Woohoo! The last one was great. We did about 15 episodes. I was just kind of getting warmed up. I felt like now that the Lich is involved and kind of got a new energy, I wanted to start over, start a new campaign. I love starting a new story anyway, but also Dungeon Crawl Classics has this cool way of starting campaigns that's kind of fresh and exciting too. It's called the funnel, where you literally funnel characters down until you get your party. We're gonna have and if this is me and 4 other people, or me and 4 other people, each of those peoples would have 4 characters each. So 16, like the 16 we have listed here. And they're all 0 level characters, all just regular old people with their own jobs, people, elves, dwarves, and halflings, with just jobs, no classes. And they're being thrust into the grand stage and adventure. The adventures that they go on are the type of adventures that if you were playing D&D, it would be maybe 10th level before you get there. I mean, these are not the adventures where it's like, oh, you want to be your first level? Well, why don't you go and kill these giant rats in a mine? It's not happening. These people are thrust into an adventure of epic proportion, and a lot of them are going to die. And whoever survives becomes level 1, and then we take those characters into the next adventure, and whoever survives that goes on and on and on. It's a funnel. It's pretty cool, and it's fun, and it's a cool way to start off a narrative. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. These are the 16 characters here. We're going to get to know them and as we progress through it. The last campaign I did, I kind of had stories built up for all the characters I had right from the beginning. But this time around, I don't know I don't know these people above and beyond um, the what they are and what they are in their stats basically. And I'll kind of give that to you, share that with you in the very beginning of this adventure. So, okay, that said, let's go. So, all around the world, these people all came from different places, in different province, different country, different part of the world. None of them know each other. They have nothing in common except a couple key things. And the one big thing they have in common is all of them, their whole lives have felt like they didn't fit in, that they weren't living the right life, that they were destined for something greater, and they felt like that their whole lives. And I think a lot of us can identify with that in some time in our life or like our whole lives. They all felt that way. They all had that in common. And then the dream started. And they all started experiencing the same dream. It was a dream of an alluring woman in a stately blue with shadows covering her face who would speak to them. And she would say, "Become my ally, and your enemies shall become my enemies. And together we shall take back the life that was promised to you by the stars. Come and find me at the cliff." And then there'd be this image of the cliff just burned into their brains. And every night this dream would pound in their heads, and to the point where they started disassociating themselves from their life. They weren't paying attention to their jobs. They started distancing themselves from their friends and family, to the point where finally they become so obsessed with finding this cliff and the idea of what it promises that they just up and leave. They just drop everything and walk out of their lives and head in almost like a fever state, to the point where like one of them's traveling, just they don't know where they're going. It's destiny takes the reins. And one of them's walking down the road and bandits jump out to, rob him, and they see the look in his eyes and they're like, "This guy's crazy," and they back off. They're that kind of fever until finally they all come together. And that's where we're going to start. And the one thing about Dungeon Crawl Classics that's really cool is in their adventures, they have some really cool writing. And a lot of times I'm going to paraphrase, but and sometimes I'm not going to. So now I'm going to start out. I'm going to read. These are the 16 people that come together at the cliff. They arrived, exhausted and confused, at the cliff overlooking the ocean. The scene is exactly as it appeared in their dreams, and they are suddenly grateful, as this must mean they are not insane. There at the edge of the cliff is the woman who has haunted their dreams for months, standing behind a long table, incongruously set for a banquet here in this wild place. The woman is nearly 7 feet tall. I'm going to flip over 1 second. In a second, actually. 1 second. Okay. She's over 7 feet tall, wearing tattered finery of deepest blue. And for the first time you see her face. Somehow, her head is that of a statue of a woman. Her features are inanimate and softened, as if rain and wind has eroded the statue head over time. In her left hand, she holds 2 severed human heads by the hair. In her right hand, she holds 3. As they approach, she holds all 5 up, as if to greet them with their dead faces. Then, those dead eyes open, and the 5 heads speak to them in unison, each in their own voice. "Welcome, brave friends. I know you have many questions, but let them wait for now. I know you must be exhausted from your journey. Sit, eat, rest. All of your questions shall be answered this day." You notice that one of the heads, a pale-skinned outlander with bright red hair, speaks in a foreign tongue. So, after she says that, she kind of swings the heads a bit to motions towards the banquet table. It's covered in dishes. Meat and bread and cheese and vegetables and wine. But every other 10 dishes, there's Um, for every 10 dishes, there's 8 great ones, but then there's a couple that are visibly rotted or otherwise despoiled. Like there's a plate of mutton that's crawling with maggots, and a bowl of berries that's green with fungus. Um, Everybody stares, and it's almost like these people have all just woken up. They feel like they've just woken up. They're seeing this, and they're ravenous, and this traveling could have taken days, and they don't remember if they've eaten or not. So they descend on the table and start eating. And somebody here is going to eat some of the foul food. Narf, do you want to do the honor of picking one of these people to say that they're the ones that are going to eat some nasty food? Or should I roll? Dora, the dwarven blacksmith. She's gross. Dora, let's see. Let's look at Dora. Dora, the dwarven blacksmith. She is not very smart. She is not a very smart person. And, yeah. And maybe she's got a taste. She has a taste for mold. She likes mold. She digs into a bowl of what might be cherries, and eats them with relish. So we're gonna mark here that she ate spoiled food. Oh, I didn't mention, we're gonna call this campaign the Wheel of Destiny, and that will become. You'll understand why in a moment, actually. I was going to say at the end of the adventure, but actually you're going to find out pretty soon. All right, so everybody sits on this table. We got Dora, who's a gross little dwarven blacksmith who likes the taste of nasty food, and she eats it. After they've ate, they're kind of standing around the food coma. Maybe they're sitting around in a kind of a coma. The woman in blue, who'd been standing there kind of like silently watching them, addresses them once again. The the Dungeon Crawl Classic stuff is very I love the writing. It can be a little verbose, though. There can be some verbosity. We're going to jump right in. Thank you, friends, for taking the dangerous journey to be here today. I looked at this earlier and I thought, how could I paraphrase it? But there's a lot of little good tidbits in this, so I'm just going to read it from the top. I know each of you, your minds and your hearts, and yet I must keep my identity veiled. If I were to even think my true name, it would instantly be sensed by our enemies, and they would race here to break our fellowship and confound our plans. Please let me be known to you as the Lady in Blue. Trust that I am a friend and no one that would mislead you. Know this, our enemies, who are indeed the enemies of all right-thinking people of this world, have kept you from living the lives you were meant to live. Each of you was born under the wrong stars, a misfortune fostered upon you by our enemies. But I wish to be your ally. I can set this misfortune right. Just feeding right into it, isn't she? If you wish to have me for an ally, I ask just this, that tonight, when the full moon reaches the top of the sky, you step off that cliff and onto an invisible bridge that does not yet exist, but shall exist tonight. This bridge will take you on a long journey across the ocean. This journey will be difficult, and some of you may not live to see its end. But those who do shall find the hole in the sky, a porthole to another world. And that world is a prison, and its warden is a titan, a fierce creature that cannot be slain by mortal means. This titan keeps a prisoner in a cage of Aldar wood. Its prisoner is our ally, and to say her name aloud will give my presence away to our enemies. At this, the Lady in Blue takes a cup of wine from the banquet table and carefully pours it there on the dusty ground. For a moment you see a word written there, Drizta. A moment later, a mass of beetles bubble up from the earth and devour the word. An instant later, they disappear, leaving only bare ground. Never speak the name aloud. Friends, I would ask that you take this bridge tonight under the full moon to the hole in the sky. Free our ally. Those who do shall be my trusted friends, and I shall set their stars right with this. The lady in blue gestures, and you hear an immense tearing noise, as if the spinning of the world was grinding to a halt. Incredibly, a seam opens in the morning sky, and you're looking through it into another world. One where a massive black monolith is epicenter of what seems like the mother of all storms. The wind blows so hard they are all shoved back several feet, almost to the edge of the cliff. As their eyes adjust, they see that the monolith is actually the edge of an immense black wheel. The wheel turns slowly and seems to be made of the night itself. They see stars, clustered in groups or shining alone in its surface. As it spins, they feel as if reality itself might slip from beneath their feet at any moment. They clearly hear every word the lady in blue speaks, despite the hurricane winds. This is the wheel of destiny, one of the posters of the universe. For each brave friend who aids in the rescue of our ally and returns, I shall allow them to spin it once. One time, and the true destiny you were meant for shall be yours. With a gesture, the lady closes the seam in the morning sky. The winds dissipate. They see the remnants of their feast have all been blown into the ocean. So the lady looks at the first person, looks at someone and says, will you take this quest? All right. She's going to go down through the list of these people. One person is going to say, oh, hell no. We need to find out who. One person's going to abstain from this adventure. Does anybody want to say who that's going to be? Or we can roll. Bunt Troll Fat. But he's got such a cool name. He's a turnip farmer with a cow. So, Bunt Troll Fat is a turnip farmer. He has a cow. We did not learn her name. But he looks at his cow. And he looks at let's see, he's neutral. Bunt is a big dude with white hair. Okay, big dude, white hair, maybe a full head of white hair. Really loves his cow. Yeah, and this is too much for him. Yes, he's lived a different life. He saw, he ate some food. He's not walking across some invisible bridge to a hole in the sky to rescue someone, and he's naturally a little distrusting. So he says, she goes, will you take this journey? And he says, no, thank you. And she is very well then. And she moves on. And yeah, that's maybe the last we see of Bunt. All right. Everyone else who says yes, the woman, remember, she's speaking out of all these heads she's holding. Each person who says they will, which is everybody else, she holds a head up to their forehead, and one of the heads, and it kisses their forehead. She plants a big decapitated head for a kiss on her forehead. And then after she's done this, she sinks down into the earth, and within a blink of an eye, she's gone. Anybody who wanted to ask her a question, she's already gone. She said she'd answer other questions, but she doesn't stick around long enough to answer any questions. Now, she told them never to speak the name of the prisoner, right? And she wrote it in the earth. She said never to do that. Now, the chaos-aligned people in our group One of those people is dying to say it. They're going to say it. They're like, what about that Dresda, huh? What do you think that means? Let's find out which one of them did it. I'm going to name off our chaos people. And anybody, and anybody, including Narf, can yell out who they think. We have Atros, the Elven Forester. He is chaotic. We have Snicks, the Cut Purse, also chaotic. We have Jasper, the Animal Trainer, chaotic. We have Armstrong, the Herder. He's chaotic. Portia, the Cooper. A Cooper, by the way, repairs and builds barrels and kegs. And then we have... That's it. Yes, that is it. So, Atros... Atros, Snicks, Jasper, Armstrong. I'm leaning towards Snicks, the oh hey, Heroic. I was gonna just say Snicks, actually. Yes. Snicks. he's let's say he's our resident weasel. He goes, hey, what about that Dresda? What do you think that means? And people around him kind of get shocked and look around and look up at the sky, and nothing, no bolt of lightning or anything came out, but they kind of move away from him a little bit. And indeed, he's got to roll. We're going to make a little luck check for Snicks. Ooh. So Dungeon Crawl Classics, the luck check is the opposite of any other check. You have to roll under the number, your actual attribute, and his luck is 5. So let's see how well he rolls. D20. Oh, hold on. Looks like my die cam. Okay. I'm still seeing. Okay. He rolled. Oh, I want to be able to show you guys this. I don't know why that's not working though. Oh. Hold on. Technical difficulties. My other cam, my die cam, is acting weird. Huh. But why is it? Whatever. He rolled a 1. A 1. He rolled a 1. He made the luck check. So, yeah. He's a lot luckier than it would appear. So, Snicks dodged a bullet. We'll just say that. Okay. So, now it's time to... Let's get to know these guys a little bit. Because it's mid-morning. They've ate, the food's gone, they have nothing else to do until midnight when this invisible bridge is supposed to appear. So we'll get to know these guys a little bit. We got Atros, like I said before, he's chaotic, he's an elf. If you're familiar with Dungeon Crawl Classics at all, it's like old school D&D, red box kind of stuff where elves, dwarves, and halflings are classes. They're not, they're both races and classes. So you don't have a elf fighter. An elf is an elf. A dwarf is a dwarf. Elves typically are a little bit more like wizards, and dwarves are more like warriors, and halflings more like thieves. So Atros is one of our elven friends. Nothing too fancy and new. Nothing stands out really about him, except that, oh, he's a little sickly. He is a little sickly. He's not the healthiest of people. Then we have Dora, who is not very smart, and she loves... Yeah, no kidding, Heroic. Exactly. He might have a luck modifier of -2, but he's still kind of lucky. Dora, who loves rotten fruit. We know that about her. And she's not very smart. Dwarven blacksmith. She's carrying an ounce of mithril on her for some reason. And she has thieves' tools. Okay. We have Richer, who is the halfling moneylender. He is a smartly dressed halfling. And he's got a couple... and he's got a little bit of money hidden away. Of course, he's not going to share that with anybody else. He's a pretty smart little guy, and he is, let's see, he's both smart, dexterous, and he's got some good stamina. Tajay, the fortune teller, not very attractive man, but yes, but he's pretty lucky. What has he got? He's got a tarot deck. So during the day, he's going to read people's fortunes, especially, say, Dora's and things like that. We know Snicks. He's not very lucky, but he apparently is. Then we have Jasper, the animal trainer, who has a pony. Oh, yeah, this is good. Okay. We need a name for Jasper's pony. Any ideas? Thoughts on names for ponies? Precious? Precious? I'm going with Precious, unless anybody's got something better. So Jasper's an animal trainer. He let's see what else. Anything else good about him? Oh, he's pretty agile. Babe the pony. Gotcha, Narf. Thank you. All right. Then there is Armstrong, the herder. Armstrong has a herding dog. No. You don't like Babe, Narf? Are you backing away from Babe? What about Armstrong, the herder, has a herding dog. He is, Armstrong's not particularly strong or agile, but he's very hardy. We'll say Armstrong is a big dude. He's big, like big. But not very strong, not very agile, but he's smart and healthy. And he's got a herding dog. Oh. So we need a name for his dog. Let's go with Gandalf for the dog. Unless anybody else wants to chip in. Precious. All right, I'm with you. Let's do Precious then. All right. Then we've got... All right, so that was Armstrong. And then we have Boros. All right, Boros is a dwarf. He and Dora kind of spy each other right away. Dwarves are kind of a close-knit they have close-knit communities. They're typically always lawful because they all like follow laws. You don't find them too much out on their own. If they are out in the world, there's a reason for it, a communal reason for it. We don't know why Boros are out. Well, actually, we do know why they're out there, don't we? Something else drove them. Something else, some kind of something in destiny drove them out here. So, Boros is a dwarven chessmaker who's got himself 10 pounds of wood in his backpack, and a flask of oil. He is incredibly intelligent, very intelligent dwarf, and pretty strong, actually, pretty strong. By the way, these are all 0 level characters, which means they all have like 1 to 4 hit points, and that's it. All right, moving on. We have Naomi, the jester. I always love having a jester. She is not a very strong person, but she is pretty charismatic and lucky. And everybody's got a good, there's a good mix of weapons going on here. We got short swords, clubs, darts, staffs. Pretty good. We have Portia, the Cooper. Portia, not very agile. In fact, she trips over herself a couple times during the day, but she's kind of strong, got a good personality. She's got a barrel for some reason. attached to her. Got some rope. That's always good. Oh, yeah. One cool thing about Naomi I noticed is that she has a 10-foot pole, which in my mind is going to work really great when there's invisible bridges involved. All right. And then we got a minstrel, Umar, who's got a ukulele, who pulls that sucker out and entertains the crowd with a couple of Randy songs throughout the day. And a crowbar for some reason. Anything about him? Oh, he is not particularly. He's one of our one hit pointer. So we'll see how long he lasts. Kind of going out of order here. We have Fosta, the elven sage. Let's see what's cool about her. I think that's a her. Yeah, it's a her. Moderately intelligent, pretty lucky. Knows the language of troglodyte. I don't know what the story is there. And orc. Okay. And she's got a book. Finally, our last four. We have Ava One Eye, who's a healer by trade. Sounds like a budding cleric to me. Got great hit points. Oh, very healthy. Very healthy with 3. Wow, rolled really well. Stamina is 18. Rolled a 4 when you're rolling for hit points. It looks like she's got 7 hit points. She's got the most hit points of everybody. Very healthy. We have Kips, the halfling haberdasher. Also dressed very well and is in almost stays completely in conference with Richer throughout most of the day, discussing men's finery, and Kips wants to open up his own store, and Richer says he might fund it depending on how the adventure goes, that kind of thing. Oh yeah, 10-foot poles, especially when you if this invisible bridge is going to be purely invisible, then knowing where it ends is going to be really, really helpful. But you know what I always wondered? All right, so I got a 10-foot pole, right? And I'm going to assume that this isn't like a collapsible one. So that's pretty, what is this, strapped to my back? I'm just carrying this around. It always seemed kind of weird to me how you would actually carry that around on an adventure. Finally, we have Harand, the armorer, who of course gravitates to, once he finds out that Dora is also as a blacksmith. They talk shop for a while. He speaks Minotaur. In addition to Common. He speaks Common, but he also speaks Minotaur. There's got to be a story there that we'll figure out at some point. Why Minotaur? Yeah, that's interesting. And he has the best stats of everybody here. He is above. He's got a 1 modifier in everything except for agility, where he has 2. That's phenomenal. I did these all random. purplesorcerer.com. You can go there and kick out awesome randomly generated characters. And then we had Bunt. Bunt took off. He said he didn't even say nothing to nobody. Everybody just watched him and his cow leave off into the distance. That's it. So those are the people. They spend their day kind of getting to know each other, doing what they do. Armstrong's dog, Precious, keeps trying to herd the pony, but it doesn't really work. Until finally nightfall and people have fallen asleep. Yes, raised by... Yeah. Heron was raised by minotaurs. Dad was a minotaur. Mom was a human. It was a taboo relationship. Okay, nightfall happens. The full moon rises just like she said it would, right? It goes as it rises. The time kind of approaches. Everyone starts, waking up and moving over the cliff. Everyone's looking at each other like, well, we should. And I think. Okay, no. Somebody, we got to pick the person who steps on the bridge first. But what's going to happen first is Naomi, having her 10-foot pole, is going to take out and she's going to prod it. And sure enough, they get to the edge of the cliff. No one wants to jump into the water. I mean, this is like a 200-foot drop. She uses it, and sure enough, she hits like a solid, it's like tongue. There's something there. It's solid. But that doesn't mean she has the courage to jump or walk onto the bridge. So we need to pick somebody who has the courage to do that. Any thoughts? Or we roll. What do you guys think? Let me see if I can get my die roll screen working. Wow. Huh. So I'm going to do here. Okay. Any ideas? Something's happened with my die roll scene. All right, I'm rolling. 4. Does Tajay know her own future? That's a good question. Maybe Tajay knows he's not going to die today. If he knows that, he's confident in it, he decides he's going to step out on the bridge. So Tajay, seeing everyone's, wanting and knowing in his heart he is not. Oh, 4 is Tajay, isn't it? It was in the wheel of destiny. He steps out into onto the bridge. Oh wait, no, you're not seeing this. You're not seeing my. Okay. He steps out on the bridge and it's solid. He steps a few more. Everybody kind of gasps because still they know what they're expecting to see, but it's still pretty crazy to see someone standing, levitating above the ocean. So slowly, because he starts walking, first Naomi goes with her staff, and everybody else starts shambling on. And after a little bit of experimentation with the staff, with the pole, they figure it's about 20 feet wide, and it feels like stone cobbles. Well, it's invisible, but it feels like stone cobbles. And they decide Naomi's going to go out in front, and everyone's going to kind of follow behind. Let's see. We'll make it easy. Naomi's going to take first place, but everybody else is going to follow in the order that they're listed here. And they're going to start moving down the bridge slowly with her feeling out in front of her to make sure the bridge is still there. It doesn't curve or anything like that. So they travel like this throughout the night. It doesn't take a couple hours, and they no longer see the land behind them. Some of them get a little freaked out by that, but there's nothing else to do but to keep going. Dawn breaks. It's sunny, but it's a little cold because the bridge has been going up slightly till they're about a half a mile above the ocean. So they're pretty far up. It's colder up here, but easy going. And they start. They maybe stop. They rest for a bit, and then after a little while, they've eaten. Let's see. Some of them have food. We'll assume some of them have food, and they continue on. About midday of that next day, a storm moves in, and it begins to rain. And here's where the fun starts. Everybody's got to make a luck check. Everybody. This is where I wish I could figure out what's going on here. Boom, there we go. Hi. Okay, we're in business. Let's roll some D20s. Everybody's got to roll a luck check because the winds come in, the storm starts raging on the bridge, and there's nothing to hold on to, and they don't know where the edges are. And quite honestly, this night could end right now, and we might be starting this whole adventure over with 16 new people next week. The very first episode I ever did of this, I thought it'd be cool to take these the adventure I ran was Sailors on the Starless Sea, and I decided I was going to take all the adventurers around the back of this castle, this fort, and walk up this all these boulders and stuff, and then the boulders start avalanching, and I was rolling and killing every single one of them. I actually just started over at that point because it can happen. Well, the luck check isn't going to necessarily kill them. If they fail the luck check, they get a chance to roll a reflex save in order to not fall off the bridge. So everybody's got 2 chances, and we'll see what happens. Okay. We're going to start at the top of the list, which is with top of the list is Naomi. And Naomi has a really decent luck. Everybody has pretty decent luck, actually. Her luck is 15. She rolled a 4. She is good. All right, we're going to start right behind her is Atros. He has a luck of 11. Ooh, Atros rolls a 14. He's not that lucky. Now he needs to make a reflex save of 10. His reflex, he's got a modifier of 1, so he's got +1. He's got to do a 10. So let's see what's up. Do you live or die, Atros? Atros, crit. Atros isn't lucky, starts sliding, but slams to the ground and grips tight and does not slide off. So he is good. Dora. Dora, luck is 14. 12. Okay, Dora. Richer, the halfling moneylender. His luck is 12. 4. Tajay. Luck is 16. Ooh, he rolls a 16. He's good. No, we'll go Naomi. Oh, Portia. Portia is... Whoops. Portia has a 16 luck. Portia rolls a 19. She was not as lucky. Portia, you now need to roll... Ooh. Okay, might be our first death. Portia has a -2 reflex mod. She is not very agile at all. She's got an agility of 5. Yeah. So, our first death. Portia screaming. People try to grab her. They can't do it. She slides off the bridge, falls to that thing. Watch her fall down into the angry ocean. We have lost Portia. Okay. Umar, the minstrel. Bad time to take out ukulele, dude. He's got a 14 luck. And he rolls a 14. He is good to go. And then Fosta, the elven sage, luck of 15. 15. Everybody's got really good luck. Snicks. Here we go. How lucky is Snicks? That's going to be... Okay, let's do it. I got a little special one for this one.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Lich. So, Snicks. Alive. Jasper. Luck is 13. 2. Nice. See, this is where my natural affinity for rolling super low comes in handy. Armstrong. 12. 7. Nice. Boros, the dwarven chest maker. He rolls a 19. I hope he rolls a 19 again. His reflex save is 0. He just got to roll a 10 or better. And he crits it. Wow. Jeez. That 10 pounds of wood weighs him down. Yeah, that's what happens. So, Boros gets swept to his feet, but his wood catches him on the bridge and keeps him safe. Then Ava, One Eye. luck is 13. She rolls a 6. Wow, we have really good rolls. Kips, the halfling, 10. His luck is 11. Perfect. Heron, the armorer, his luck is 14. He rolls a 9. 6. Doesn't matter. Either way, he's good. And Bunt is no longer here. 1 death. Now, the winds and the rain are so cold and miserable that, and the only person who has a stamina 7 or lower is Atros. He gets sick from it, so he's going to be taking a penalty until he rests for like 8 hours. So basically, he's got a penalty to attack, damage, and all rolls, really. Atros starts coughing and wheezing a bit as they continue down the bridge. So they continue on. The storm passes, and they're continuing on. It seems like there's no wind, but she did say that it was going to take a long time till they found this hole. They're just continuing into the horizon. Day 3. It's cold. It's windy. For the first time, they see something down below them. That up until then, it's just been the ocean, waves, water upon water upon water, and they see something in the distance, and they all get kind of excited, even though it's not in the sky. It's like something, and they using the pole, they go forward, and get out of this. They as they get closer, it looks like a ship. They get even more excited because other people. Wow. But as they move even closer, they see that it looks like it's wrecked. Maybe there's a bit of a sandbar, and the ship is wrecked on it, and there are all these birds on it. As they get closer, they notice that these birds are a lot larger. Well, they look small, but the smart people here, they notice that they even though they're small, they're not as small as they should be if they were actually small birds. They're actually kind of big, and maybe a little different looking birds than they'd ever seen before. As they get closer, and they're almost on top, they hear this dreadful like screeching from below, and some of the birds take flight, and they notice, they look like maybe they're like vultures, but when they start getting closer, they look like they could be dragons. They're not quite sure. None of these people have seen birds like this. They're terrified. They're terrifying. They're not huge, but they're pretty big. And a bunch of them break off from the ship and come flying up with screeches and caws that like chill everyone into the bone. And they all look at each other, and they're like not sure what they're gonna do. What they are gonna do is roll initiative. Everybody's gonna roll initiative, and we're gonna roll in groups of 4. There's 4 groups here. We're gonna roll initiative for each of the 4 groups, so it's not initiative for each person. Our first group is Atros, Doro, Richer, and Tajay, and they're gonna roll a 17. And is there anybody? What's their highest? Oh, they do get a plus. No, it should have been 17. They get a +1, so they are at 18. Pretty good roll. Group 2 is headed up by Naomi. They roll. Oh, they're down a person too. They roll an 11. With a +1, it's 12. Then we got Snicks. Snicks's group with Jasper and Armstrong, and they got a 10. All right, got 11. And then finally, Ava One Eye. It's 15. They got +2, 17. And then the Sea Shrieks. Shrieks. I like shrieks. The Sea Shrieks. They're like scaly birds with maws that with, they're not beaks. They look more like dragon maws, but then they have feathers and scales, and their wingspans are like 6 feet long. They're coming up hungry. What's crazy, the smart ones, the smart people like Boros and who else? Who else is our smart people? Armstrong. This is another smarty. It's almost like their claws are talking to each other. And that creeps them out even more. All right, so we're gonna roll for the birds. Look at that. Oh, come on. Sorry, guys. Boom. That's a 20. So who? These guys are in attack. There are 7 of them. And we need to decide who they're attacking first. And how they're going to attack. They're going to attack. These guys are smart. These birds. They can't do 7 on 1. They're not going to do 7, but they will do 3 on 1. Who's getting attacked first? Or should we roll? Yeah. Any thoughts? Who playing? Us playing gods. Us playing fate. Who do we bring fate to bear upon? Well, let's think of it this way. Who is the biggest dude here? Looks like a lot of meat on this guy. I like where you're going, Heroic. We're going to do that, but then I had a thought. We have, no, it wasn't Fosta. Who's our big dude? Really big dude. So stamina is really good. And what was it? Ava One Eye. What's our other 18 stamina? Armstrong, the herder. Yes. His dog. Oh, they should be going for the dog. Not the dog, but the pony. The pony for sure. Okay. All right, so this is what I'm suggesting. Armstrong, he's the big guy. He's not very strong, not very agile, the herder, but he's kind of big and got a lot of meat on him. The birds are going to go for him first, 3 of them. And then the other 3 are going to go for Jasper, more so. Armstrong? Armstrong is the biggest. Did I not say? Yeah. He's the one. He's got stamina of 18. His strength and agility are low, 8 and 6 actually. So I was thinking maybe but he's a pretty smart guy. But he's the biggest one. They're gonna go for him, and the other 3 are going for Jasper and his pony. More so maybe for Jasper's pony than him at the first. Actually, there's 4 of them because there's 7. 3 are going for Armstrong. 4 are going for Jasper and his pony. In Dungeon Crawl Classics, the monsters don't play by rules. They're mean. They're terrible. Let's pull up their stats. They get a +1 to their melee rolls. So here they come. Racing at Armstrong. We're going to do Armstrong first. We're going to roll 3 dice. We should pick appropriately monster dice. Appropriate monster dice. Do I know the black one? I do. Look at that. Okay. Is that black? Is that purple? That's purple. Yeah, well, it's a very deep purple. Okay. Here we go. 3 dice. His armor class is 9, which is terrible. Well, okay. So 1, 14, and 17. All right. They come in with beaks and claws. trying to grasp at him, all different sizes. He's like, what's he got? He's got a staff. He's waving a staff at him. And he fins one off, but the other two come on both sides, and with their claws, doing 1d3 damage each. So that would be, I'll do it this way. Could just roll 1d6 and it's okay. Ooh, 3 and doing 6 points of damage on this guy. He's not dead though. This guy was one of the few, other than Ava, who has 7 hit points. He's got 1. So their claws sink deeply into his shoulder and another on his arm, and they start pulling him. They start dragging, and he screams out as the claws dig deeper into his, and then a beak comes down, a mouth comes down and kind of latches onto his neck. He's like, ah! As he's being dragged away, his dog barking fiercely, but too scared to jump on this bird's, not really knowing what to do. And now, the 4 that attack Jasper, I think one is going to be getting up in Jasper's face while the other 3 take on his pony. They want to grab his pony and take it away. Yes. Where are we at here? Okay. Yeah, okay. 3. Pony. Pony. Huh. Okay. I was trying to think of what the pony's armor class would be. I don't think it'd be much better than anybody else's. A 9 or a 10. Same deal. 2 of them sink their claws into the pony. Let's see. Wow, I'm rolling. Okay. 2 of them get their claws and beaks into the pony and start pulling. I'm sorry, it wasn't Babe. Start pulling Babe off the bridge. It's Babe screaming. She's not dead yet, but she's gonna be. They're pulling them. They're kind of getting off the ground a little bit, trying to drag her off the bridge. The other one's up in Jasper's face. More just kind of just attacking him to keep him busy, while the others steal his pony. And he rolls a 7, which is his armor class is 12. Jasper's actually, because his agility is pretty good. So Jasper backs up, but isn't hit. Now it's our party's turn. Group 1 jumps into action. Let me see here. Who's our lawful? Okay. Richer and Tajay are going to attempt to... I'm playing with the idea that... Okay, so Atros is chaotic. He might not do anything at all. Just to give a little bit of character to him. But anyway, Richer and Taj are both law. They're both going to jump into action. Jump in. They both want to help Armstrong. Wait, where are we at here? Marching order was going to be the same, except for Naomi was going to be in front. She's in front. So that puts us... I'm rolling. You guys aren't seeing this. So Atros, Doro. Armstrong's being hit. He's way back here. Who's closer? Jasper Growl. They're both right next to each other. Okay, so in Dungeon Crawl Classics in combat, you have a move and an action. Later on in greater levels, bigger and higher levels, you can get multiple actions. But you can move and act and move, any kind of combination, or you can move twice. They're all within 30 feet of each other. Most people can move 30 feet. So these guys can run up and try to help. Richer has a short sword. He runs and draws it. and jumps and tries to hack at one of the shrieks that's pulling Jasper, or not, so Jasper, I'm sorry, Armstrong off the bridge. And we're going to flip to the dice. Here we go. 13. Oop, that was a 13. Armor class, please. 12. Okay. His short sword bites into the wing of one of these things, doing 6 points of damage. 3 points. No, does not bite in the wing. Richer runs up and jumps and spears one of the shrieks right through its breast. It screams out and lets go of Armstrong to clutch at its chest when it falls, and falls with Richer falls. And as it falls, Richer lands on it and drives the sword down deeper into it, and it screeches, shrieks even, and dies. Tajay, running up beside him, has a dagger and tries to attack the other one that's holding Armstrong. I want a Taj die. Here we go. 15. Nice. He's doing 1 to 4. 2 points of damage. He stabs it, and it's right in its shoulder of one of its the joint of one of its wings. It screams out and half lets go, but it's still holding on to Armstrong. It is not dead as of yet. Then let's see, Dora is running over to she's on her way to help the pony. Yeah. She doesn't want the pony to die. She has a hammer. She comes swinging this hammer. Not a war hammer, just kind of like a hammer. She comes swinging it at one of the ones that is... Right. Pulling the pony. Babe. Poor babe. Go Dora. Go Dora. She rolls a 9. She has no modifier. She swings and misses. Woof. Atros, he's staying back. He's chaotic. He's not evil. He just cares about himself. And if these things aren't attacking him, he can give a shit for the pony. They can have the pony. His thinking is, let them drag the pony off and go away, maybe they'll leave us alone. As for Armstrong, it looks like the other people are helping him, so he don't need another guy in the mix. All right, so party number 2, Naomi, Umar, and Fosta. Let's see. Fosta is the Elven Sage. She's got a quill. Literally has a pen. Yeah, she's gonna. Here's funny. Here's what happens when you roll randomly generated characters. So elves and Dungeon Crawl Classics have a heightened sensitivity of vulnerability to iron. It hurts them, so they don't wear iron. They'll wear mithril and that kind of stuff. And I just realized that the random generator gave her an iron spike. So that doesn't make any sense unless she's like, yeah. So she's a cutter. She got other issues other than this whole not feeling like part of the world. She likes the pain, and she keeps her iron spike like tucked away so it's not touching her skin, but it's close enough to be discomfort, and it reminds her of her inner pain. Yeah, I like it. She's a little Fosta is a sage, and she's a little damaged. Anyway, that doesn't stop her from trying to stab a shriek with a pin. Yeah, she's. I think she also goes for the one trying to drag the pony off, and she rolls a 7. She does not help. Thanks for trying. Umar the minstrel. What's he got? He's got a dagger. Yeah, he comes rushing. He's Umar's gonna try to help he's gonna try to help Armstrong. Armstrong's got one dead, two still hanging around. He's gonna roll one. He tries and nothing happens. And then finally Naomi. Naomi's got the pole. The pole. I think. Oh, she's got a dart. She's gonna throw it. Well, I don't see her. I think she's gonna wait it out. I think she's gonna thinking the same thing after. She's not chaotic. She's neutral, but she's neutral. She's gonna wait. Yes, the pin is not mightier than the sword. Not in this instance. Stepping over to party number 3, Snicks. Snicks is also chaotic, but I think he likes a good fight. I get that feeling from Snicks, and he's not that bad at it either. So Snicks, dagger in hand, jumps on. He's right there next to Jasper and Armstrong. He's jumping at one of the ones holding Armstrong. 9 + 1 is 10. He is missing as well. Not very good. Jasper. No one's taking my pony. He's swinging at the one that got in his face. And he's got a club. 15. He's hitting this sucker. 15. So Jasper growls and slams his club down. Totally bashes this bird's brain. It falls with a thump to the bridge, and maybe he hits him one more time. The break off his head. Then he looks at the two that are taking his pony. No one takes my pony. And then Armstrong is getting pulled. He's got a staff, and he's trying to hit the guys with his staff. We're gonna give him a penalty die. He's gonna roll a 1d16 instead of a 1d20 because he's being dragged. Actually, no, because one of them is dead. The one who was holding him is dead. So, no, we won't penalize him. But he still penalized himself. So finally, Boros in that group. Boros' law. He's got a chisel. Yeah, he's helping Armstrong as well. Oops. Where's a good Armstrong die? 4. That's dangerously close to a fumble, bro. Last group. Ava One Eye. Speed of the Cobra. +1. Okay, she's got a club. Ava rushing to Armstrong's side. Yep. Let's see. She got any pluses? No. Could have took a plus. Nope, she misses. So one thing you can do in Dungeon Crawl Classics is burn luck. And what you do is to add, like, she just needed a 1 right there. She could have burned 1 point of luck to hit him. But one thing I found is you don't want to just start burning luck right away because it doesn't come back. Unless you're a halfling or a thief, you don't regen your luck. So once you spend it, it's gone. Kips, the halfling haberdasher. Actually, oh no, it doesn't work yet. So halflings are cool because when they're level 1 and above, that they can spend luck for other people's rolls. They're like a lucky token, a good luck charm. They can spend their own luck. So he could have spent a point of his luck to affect her die roll, and then he regens once a night every day. He'll regen 1 point of luck, but he's not level 1 right now. He's just a haberdasher, and which makes like buttons and stuff for men's accessories. He's got scissors. Yes, he's gonna run with scissors. He is lawful. He's gonna save Armstrong. We're gonna give Armstrong's dog a chance too. All right. Anyway, Kips rolls 13. He hits with his scissors. He's got a good strength. He's rolling 1d4 plus 1. Wow. So, Kips runs. I think he's gonna run, and he's gonna kind of like grab on a little bit to Armstrong just for leverage, and jump up, and he stabs with his scissors. He stabs one of the Shrieks in its neck, and it screeches and lets go, and he follows it down and pins it to the ground, killing it, and it is dead as well. That's 2 Shrieks down. Last guy, Herond, the armorer. He has a hammer, and yes, he's gonna attack that last one that's hanging around that missed. One of them missed Armstrong. He's gonna attack that one. 19, dangerously close to a crit. Yep, and let's see. He's rolling a 1d4 plus 2. Boom. I say it's a lucky kind of thing. He goes. Yeah, I think that might be what happened with Snicks, actually. That's a good point. Herond walks up, and the bird happens to turn and move the right time when he spins his hammer, and he just completely cold nut right across his face. It spins around, hits the bridge, and slides and falls off at the ocean. We have 3 Shrieks. 3 Shrieks dead. 2 are holding the pony, and 1 is. We have 4 Shrieks dead, right? Yeah. There are 3 hanging around the pony. 2 of them dragging it for lunch. All right, we're back to the top. Back to the top, and we're going to say the Shrieks spend. The 2 that are carrying. All right. 1 turns back to attack Jasper. The other 2 drag Babe off, and she drops. Just imagine the pony dropping, winning. No, they don't. They don't have anything. Just death. The pony, Babe, falling down into the ocean. She goes down and she comes back up, trying to swim, but blood comes out. She ain't gonna last long. But they dropped her, and now they turn around to finish some business. We got 1 that's attacking Jasper. That rolls a 6. He fins it off with his club. He's very angry that it would dare kill his pony. Damn it, Babe. Damn it. All right. Atros swings into action. Now's a good time to jump in there. He comes swinging his staff, coming at that one that just attacked Jasper. Hits it. 16. Does. He just comes up. Boom. Hits it so hard, everybody hears a crack, smash, and it goes flying over the bridge and down into the water. The other 2, we are going to roll. The other 2 let out shrieks and fly down to get their lunch, their pony lunch, and leave everyone up top. Everyone looking around. Everybody all right? Armstrong's. People grab him who can kind of help carry him. They're like, we can't stay here. We're gonna have to leave. We have to keep moving because there's still birds, they think, down on that ship. So they start moving. They're moving a little slower this time, but a couple hours later, they're not harassed anymore by the birds. A couple hours later, they leave the ship far behind, and now they're back to just regular ocean. And they sit and they take a rest, and they're a little worried that the bridge is going to disappear, but also Armstrong's hurt pretty bad, and we're going to give him a chance to, we're going to heal him. He's going to heal up at regen a little bit, and then they carry on. And towards the end of the, no, as they keep walking, suddenly Naomi's pole doesn't find purchase anymore, and she hurriedly stops everybody. Everybody stops, and she tries the whole thing, and the bridge has ended. About the end of the third day, later on that night, and do we think that anybody is stupid enough? Because they can't see anything now, and so they're all talking like, "We hit the edge of the bridge. Do you see the tear? I don't see a hole. I don't see a hole in the sky. Do you? Maybe it's invisible too." Does anybody think that someone would be jump off in a leap of faith? And who would it be? Or does somebody do that with some rope tied to them? Because a couple people have 50 foot of rope. At least one person has 50 feet of rope. One person looks like, oh no, you know what? Guess who had the 50 foot of rope? Portia, who got swept off in the rain. So we have no more rope. We have a pole. Yep. So that's not so good. So no rope. Anybody think anybody is going to be dumb enough or smart enough, brilliant enough to jump off in a leap of faith the bridge? They don't see a hole in the sky that they were told was going to be there. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Heroic. No rope. Doomed. Why don't... All right, I don't want to say that someone's going to jump off. I think all these people are, even the dumb ones, are smart enough not to go jumping off. Like, well, let's wait. They talk, anybody who's stupid enough to want to even try that, they talk to them about, let's wait. 2 days later, they tried going back. The first day, or the second day, no, the first day, they start experimenting with the way back, and they find that 60 feet from where their party ended, the bridge is no longer there. So it's been disappearing behind them as they travel. So they're on this stretch of like 120 feet of bridge, and they start thinking, well, maybe someone is going to jump off here. Who would jump just to see if they're maybe missing the hole? I think right when someone goes, I'm going to do it, and they've been stopped a couple times, that's when they're like, wait, look. And in the distance, they see an odd shimmer of air. And it starts getting closer. As it starts getting closer, they see it is indeed a hole. It looks like a hole. It looks like a circle ringed in blue fire. As it's getting closer, it gets bigger and bigger, and it's just slowly moving towards them. And inside the hole, they see a sky of magenta and what look like maybe trees. It's definitely a doorway to another world. And they sit there on the edge of the bridge waiting for it as it comes. And finally it does. It's like 15 feet wide. It aligns with the edge of the bridge. And through it, they see what look like bamboo trees and a magenta sky and solid ground. Naomi does the thing, and she can feel it. Nobody wants to wait too long. She steps through. She looks back. Everything's cool. Everybody moves into the other world. And I think that's where we're going to end tonight. So we've made it. We have one. We're down 2 people. We're at 14 people. One's badly hurt. He's gonna heal a little bit, but not too much. And now we're in the other world, and they need to find a prison and then free this Dresda person thing from it. That's their key to a brand new destiny. So thanks for yeah, it was, yes, I expected a lot more people dying on that bridge. But that's the thing about Dungeon Crawl Classics I found, is they've done a really good job of mitigating the rolling, no understanding. Like, I don't know how many times, I guess one time you might get a whole party wipe on something like that, but with the 2 rolls, luck, and plus a lot of people have pretty high luck. I mean, 15 is pretty high. But it's fun. So I'm looking forward to getting to know these people even more so. What did we learn? We learned that Dora likes eating spoiled food. We know that Fausta likes to keep a piece of iron on her body just because of the pain. Jasper lost his pony. Jasper is not okay with that. Jasper, something kind of like switched off with him. Or, I don't know. Let's find out. Like, how does Jasper feel about losing Babe? Armstrong's dog never got a chance to attack the bird. Now that I think about it, Precious. But Precious has been doing a lot of licking on Armstrong to try to help him out. Yeah. We know that Atros is pretty self-centered. Maybe because he's chaos. But they don't know that. Yeah. Okay. Looking forward to seeing where these people go and who they are and how we can kind of craft a story around it. Next week, we'll do part 2 of this one. And I have a feeling it's going to be a 3-parter. Thanks for joining. Thank you, Heroic and Narf, for participating. That's super, super awesome of you. I have such a fun time doing this. And anybody else who's watching, thanks for tuning in. And I will check you guys. Oh, tomorrow night is Saturday night, and that is Scythe night for the time being. I play a board. I'm continuing the Rise of Fenris campaign with Scythe. It'll be episode 6 tomorrow. And other than that, I will catch you later. Viva la Dungeon!